I had to learn that you will never have a great relationship or friendship with someone who's insecure. Your confidence will have you pushing them to win, hoping and praying they succeed while they only want to succeed to shit on you. You could have done nothing wrong, but your confidence makes them feel you're better than them, and that's what forces them into this silent competition with you. So while you showing up to places with love in your heart, happy to see them, you're not realizing they showing up with envy in theirs. And once you realize I'm cheering for you while you're competing with me, that shit gonna hurt. That shit will break your heart but fix your vision. Some people will never genuinely be happy for you because they too busy trying to figure out how to be better than you. Free game.
That is absolutely true. For instance, with my little sister, I had a little sister who was my best friend since we were little kids. Her name was Leia, or is Leia, and me and her had a pretty good relationship as children, but I've always been the person that always got so much attention, and the person that was people, like, I always just seemed to shine brighter than her, and it made it really hard for me and her to be friends because she became competitive when it came to me. Like, she's like, oh, you're taking all my friends. It seems like all my friends want to talk to you and not to me anymore. And I'm like, well, I am a lot older, meaning I have a lot more information. I'm wiser. So they want to learn. And when it comes to you, they're not really learning. People have to understand that people that are mentally like intelligent from their youth, they want to learn, and so they like to be around people that they can learn from. You can't try to learn to compete with someone and learn at the same time. You just have to accept where you are. The only way to be better is to probably get ahead, but you can't get ahead of someone that's already ahead of you. All you can do is just add on to or teach them something new that they've never experienced or never learned before. So for me personally, I also felt like I've had that in my relationships. Sometimes when you're with guys, like sometimes I feel like the guy that I think is my twin could also be the reason why he could be holding back from me, is because he could possibly also be in competition with me because he's a guy, he wants to be better, and he probably doesn't see how he is better, and the person that he's with is always making him feel small. So his fear of a woman making him small could keep him, like, me worshiping him is what builds his ego, and me being stupid for him is what builds his ego. So he won't rise up to the occasion of answering to me or telling the world that he's in love with me. Instead, he will shrink me down into feeling like I'm smaller than him by not answering to me, there could be so many different circumstances. He could be not even in the relationship that he's telling the world that he's in, but because it makes him feel stupid that the woman has already made him feel stupid, especially when he was great. And so him talking to me, he might see me as someone that everybody sees that is not so great. But the words that come out of my mouth are filled with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which also makes him feel behind in everything that he says and that he does. There is nothing wrong with being a student. The only thing you can do is encourage your partner and say, hey, we've all been students in life. We've all been students. What's so shameful about being a student? At least you're trying to learn something versus you just not wanting to be anything, not to do anything with your life at all whatsoever. So that's all you can do is like, when you're older and you're mature, you're always wiser. That's just how it is. You've experienced things faster. There are some people that are older that are still immature. That's just like the woman that gave birth to me and brought me on this planet. She felt so stupid that she began to make me feel stupid by just belittling me. And even God himself, he could be the same way, because half of the things that I'm going through are so questionable, where it's like, why do you have to, I don't know if it's God, but it's just like, who else would do this to me? Like, why would someone put me in this position where this witch is literally raping my spirit, making me feel like I'm stupid? Like, who am I? Who are you? You're so dumb. Sucking on my breast and on my body to make me feel so stupid. To make me feel like I'm nothing at all. And it's just, I think it's just really ridiculous. That only comes from somebody that you probably made feel made them feel like you were nothing by being everything, that they feel like just so you can level up to them, they have to make you feel this way. Like, I'm not saying it's God, but I'm just saying, like, all I could think is, this is where my questioning is. It's like, why would someone make me feel like this? Why would you do this? You know? The important thing really is that I've come out of it, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I can't be around people that are going to do that, because that's how do we grow as a nation, as people, if people are always jealous? You know, why don't you work on yourself and stop trying to compete with someone? Once we educate people, everyone has a calling. And once you understand that everybody has a calling, there's no need to compete. Some people are born to be better than others because that's just what they are. If God chose them to be greater, you can't go above what God said. You just have to learn how to be accepted. It's all about acceptance, right? God is already super great. So maybe his ego got the best of him, because he did everything, but then everybody has money and he's put in a position where he doesn't have money, but he has power. I mean, when you have power, you can get money. If you were a thief, you can even take it from people and people would never even know. But that's not how God works. He doesn't operate through cheating. He knows that he'll feel guilty for not being loyal, not being honest, not being devoted, because I know that's how I would feel. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do this the right way. I don't feel comfortable. It's your own body that just feels bad for not doing right. You feel like you're cheating the universe, so you've done something wrong. So with that being said, I feel like, honestly, it's just a lot better to be around people that are not going to make you feel stupid. To be around people that are not, there's nothing you can do about that. It's a lack of growth, lack of intelligence, lack of wisdom, lack of understanding. And all you can do, honestly, is get around people, keep doing your thing, and remove yourself from people that are there to humiliate you because they think they're humiliated by you, when really your goal is not to humiliate them at all. You're just being yourself. They have to grow up. Separation happens when people need to grow up, because there is no way that you can ever grow up if you're always chasing. You want to be equal to somebody, but you're not equal. You want to be equal to someone, but you're not equal because you're behind. You're younger. You'll always be behind. So I think the person that I believe is my twin feels like he wants to be on that level, that mental level, and it takes growth to be on that mental level. And because I can hear what he says, where it's like, I'll take the lead when I'm ready, or whatever. If that's him, it sounds like him when I message him. It sounds like it's just him, right? Who else would it be, right? Who else would be answering me? So overall, I'm just like thinking like, he needs to grow up. He needs to grow up a little. I'll always be older. Which might always make me wiser, which might always make me ahead. And then also spending time by yourself gives you more time to yourself. But when you spend time with people, you are around distractions, people that are going to stop you from your studies, stop you from meditation, because they want you to spend time with them. But when you have time by yourself, you don't have those distractions. The only thing that's distracting me are the voices. But that time with myself helps me have my like study and really, really have my mind in check. So whoever comes in my life is coming with whatever problems they have. I need to be ready to catch that person, whoever I belong to, be able to just, help him deal with whatever emotional issues that he has to deal with. But I'm not going to do that if I haven't dealt with my own emotional issues. And then with that being said, like, all you can do is wait. If that person is going to be hateful or jealous or envious of you, they have to come out of that. The only way to come out of that is through self-acceptance, and self-acceptance is number one goal. And then stretching. understanding that everyone has a calling. Some people are just greater than others, and we're just going to have to accept that. And in the AA community, we've all have accepted it. Like, we have our own greatness. We have our own skills. Like, there are great white people out there. Those are the people that they've been putting us against. But I don't ever see myself in competition with a white person because they're uniquely made. They're their own people. I'm my own people. I'm my own person. I have my own strengths. I have my own weaknesses. They have their own strengths. It's all about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You have to be bright. Once you're bright and you reach that light, you'll see that you have no reason to be in competition with anything or anyone. Not even yourself. Don't even say you're in competition with yourself. At the end of the day, you just want to be better, and not